Hey, it's another one of those rant videos where I rant about something that's bugging me or is irritating me or is kind of just annoying. And today it's the Google Pixel 10. Yeah, can we stop glazing that phone? Can we just generally stop just glazing Google and Android and discounting the iPhone? Like, I get the iPhone has a lot of faults, and I get that I kind of am a fanboy of the iPhone and Apple products in general. But in North America, we don't get a lot of carrier supported domestic phones. Like, we get Samsung, and we get the Pixels, we get some cheap stuff from Motorola, depending on your carrier. We don't get anything much more than that. It depends on the phone carrier, and most people buy the phones through the carriers here. So that's just what I'm thinking. That's just the consensus here. But can we stop hating on like iPhone? Because realistically, it's not that expensive if you compare it so the 16 that this is being recorded on and is making me like me is like 1,100 bucks. It's 256 gigs. I forget the exact price, but it's like 1,100 bucks. The same phone is the Samsung is the exact same price. However, everyone's like, well, Samsung has this own ecosystem. Well, yeah, and it's actually pretty good, but it lacks a lot of the intricacies. Like, it doesn't have direct share. It doesn't have AirDrop. Um, and yeah, everyone says that, and like, there's workarounds, and I get that, but and that's fine. But the worst one is FaceTime. Like, no one's. I have yet to meet someone who's like, yeah, let's use Google Meet. iPhones, iPads, Macs, Mac OS, Apple TV, whatever. As long as you have a camera and it works, you can FaceTime as long as it's supported. Um, and Android doesn't have that. Android simply has nothing in the United States like FaceTime. And before you say, why don't you have them jump on? I'm not having certain members or entire friend groups or yeah, I'm not jumping through the hoops. I just want something simple that I can just like, hey, hop on FaceTime. Hey, hop on. Or tell my smart speaker, hey, play some music and call John or turn the TV on. It's so nice just to have a group call and it just works. Now, Google is technically more technologically advanced from what I understand for the video calling, but I've never once been impressed recently. Like, it's supposed to use motion estimation, which basically is like if you're on low bandwidth internet or choppy internet, it will adjust dynamically based on if you're moving or not. But I just find that FaceTime just works more consistently, uses less bandwidth or needs less bandwidth to operate properly without completely getting to crap. It runs great, and it just works. iPhones just work. The warranty, everyone's like, but yeah, the warranty is just better. And I like Android. I really do. I've had Androids for a while, and when LG left, I was like, well, might as well just switch to the iPhone 12. And I kept them because they work. And I use them and I kind of abuse them, but that's neither here nor there. But if I break a screen, I get it replaced with AppleCare, like the same day. If that, it sometimes just takes 2 hours. I had an issue once with one of my phones. I think this was like last year, where I actually accidentally cracked my back glass in a tricky spot, like right around the LiDAR sensor, and they just replaced the whole back glass, polished it, cleaned my lenses up, cleaned my ports up, made it look brand new. 3 hours later, had a whole new device basically. Um, and that varies from place to place, obviously, but the place near me is very good. It's a great store to shop at. But then we come to Google, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, it's faster, it runs more AI," but it's still a relatively inefficient processor. They're overcompensating with the giant battery. It charges relatively slowly, which is fine because in America our phones don't charge particularly quickly. Well, compared to like the Asian brands where it's like 100 plus watts, and that's fine as long as it lasts all day because we typically place our phones on the chargers at night, and I do the same. But can we stop just being like, I don't want a Samsung, I don't want an iPhone, you know what, Pixel, I like the AI. No one's ever said I like the AI. The photos look good. I'm not gonna lie, the photos look good. But everyone else cut up. They don't look different enough from an iPhone from last year's Pixel. It doesn't look different enough from a Samsung. And the Samsung has a better telephoto. So can you tell me why we're pouring all this money into a phone that loses the most in terms of money in a year out of all the smartphones that has the same that doesn't have a design that's particularly inspiring in terms of material. It's a great looking phone, but you put the iPhone's made of titanium or has titanium in it. The same goes for Samsung Ultras, titanium. You go for some of the Chinese brands, a lot of them use titanium or stainless steel. And I'm not saying that it needs to be premium, but like for $1,000 plus, like the regular iPhone starts at $999. Granted, the Pixel has more storage, but it's lower storage. The video quality still sucks. It relies way too much on AI. And if Apple did this, you'd shoot them in the streets. If Apple introduced a brand new processor on their 10th generation phone, a milestone of 10 generations of the same phone line, they're perfected form, and they had the same performance as a $400 or $500 phone, you'd crucify Apple, and the stock price would tank, everything would tank. But Google does it year after year. The Pixel 9 literally had the performance of an iPhone 12. Actually, it had less performance. It was closer to like an 11S. No wonder they're doing all the crap in the cloud. No wonder they're running AI in the cloud. No wonder the iPhone can literally do the audio better, it's because it's got better hardware. The microphones on iPhones are just better hardware. The ports on iPhones are just better hardware. The screens on Samsungs are just better hardware. Face unlock is just better hardware. I'm tired of everyone being like, the Pixel got, Pixel drop. It's a new AI. How many times are you going to use this, the super? Also, they stole ProRes Zoom, and no one's talking about that. But it's just like, yeah, okay, yeah, iPhone stagnated. But you have to take a step back and realize that it's just design is stagnated. They're still getting faster. Samsung's still getting faster. They're getting the screens are getting better. They're getting more efficient, better battery technology. They have different. Okay, Apple Intelligence kind of sucks a lot, but Samsung Intelligence or whatever it's called, it's just using Gemini. So why would I choose to spend my money on a phone that's worse? If I were to spend anything on an Android right now, I go out and get a Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, or if I wanted something that's almost as good, I would honestly get a OnePlus, because the OnePlus is faster, it charges faster, it feels better, it's more unique, it's got a great screen, great cameras, much better video quality, good AI. Listen, I'm not adding balloons. I don't want Ultra HDR balloon AI images. I don't want to text it to edit. I don't need all this. I don't want these generative models just running on my device, running down my battery. And everyone's like, it gets hot when downloading apps. It's like, it's getting like uncomfortably hot. Like every device gets hot when you first set everything up. But this is getting really hot. Every pixel gets hot. And it's faster, but it's like it still can't do games very well. It doesn't have ray tracing. So realistically it's a mid range to lower mid range chipset in $1,000+ phone. And the only thing that sets it apart is the AI. It's slightly better. But because it's Google and because they have to, because of the way they're structured, that's just software. So eventually, Samsung's will get that. OnePlus will get that in like 2 years. iPhones will get that. Like iPhones already has the Magic Eraser. We already have the Nano Banana. We already have voice isolation. In fact, the voice isolation on this phone is better because it's got better physical microphones and it doesn't need to go to the cloud. You can do that on a device because it has a better noise floor so it knows what is voice and what isn't. But is it just insane to send a 5 minute video to the cloud because to get processed for up to 20 hours because they didn't process right even with the new image signal, image signal processor? What are we doing? We're sending all this image data, location data, all this stuff to Google because the processor isn't powerful enough. The phone isn't powerful enough. Or it doesn't have enough RAM. It doesn't have enough. We're always making excuses. The iPhone just does it out of the box. No effort. Just turn on the exposure. Honestly, the best pro tip: just turn on the exposure and don't expect similar quality. But yeah, expect great quality. not cinema level quality. Everyone's like, you should move it on an iPhone. You're not shooting a movie on an iPhone, even if you're using ProRes, which is a dumb feature, but that's beside the point. It's not using AI to upscale the image. It's not using AI to brighten the image. Well, like on the Pixel, it's using probably a bit of machine learning. And same goes for Samsung. And same goes for OnePlus. And same goes for every other brand. But it's not like sending it to a data center in the cloud. That's what I mean. And it's not doing its for Samsung. I'm pretty sure isn't doing like the regular on noise isolation stuff on in the cloud. I know they're doing their more advanced stuff in the cloud, but that's end-to-end encrypted. So why would I want that? Sure, the iPhone has a bunch of dumb crap that I don't like about it, but cases just work with it, and MagSafe works. And it's like, ooh, the new fixes up MagSafe. It's like, congratulations, you introduced something. I'm not sure why everyone else didn't do it, but yay, good, good for you. You add the bare minimum to the phone. That's like your 10th anniversary. And it's barely faster. It's like 25% faster than last year's, which was dog slow. I'm afraid to say it's not that slow. I have an iPhone 12 mini I can sell you for $1,100. Are you interested? Yeah, didn't think so. See? See how stupid that sounds? I have a Galaxy S10 for $1,000 if you want it. See how stupid that sounds? Don't worry, I started all the AI apps so you can yell at your phone constantly to do AI dumb stuff. Oh, is it gonna waste all the water on the planet to drive up equity growth? Well, not equity, but to drive up venture capital for weird AI firms that are pretending to be Jesus Christ incarnate? Of course, because we all need more AI to edit the picture of a dog so it has balloons surrounding it, or that the clown looks more clownish. The pixels used to just be all about photography, and Chinese used to be something like that. So now they're all about AI. And everyone's like, it's the AI phone, it's the iPhone killer. No, it's not. It's not even a killer of its own self. The only thing that kills a pixel is the fact the battery can hopefully kill it. Like, you look at brand new, I was watching, I think it was The Verge or Becca Farsi. I I said her name wrong, but whatever. And they were doing like a slightly dark, like a dim light video. It wasn't dark, but it was just like during sunset or golden hour, for recall correctly. And the video actually got shot like a webcam, and it still doesn't do 4K 60 on device. The 8K has to go to the cloud. Night video has to go to the cloud. Night boost has to go to the cloud. And it's only 10 minutes max, I think. Something like that. So it was just like, congrats, you made nothing different. The sensors are the same. The image processing pipeline is probably the same. It's just slightly tweaked. But everyone's just like, it gets better with updates. I don't want my phone to get better with updates. I want it to be good and then has updates to change some things that aren't quite right. I don't want my phone to be like, oops, suddenly it's good now. 6 months, 7 months down the road, I want it to be good now. And then, like, oh, there was a slight issue with the, I don't know, speakers crackling, or like the alarm not sounding off, or the charging speed is now increased. That's something that you can update, and I'll be fine with. But Google's just like, we'll update that eventually so it doesn't suck. Congratulations. And you actually have to spend a lot of money every year or when you upgrade your Pixel because A, Pixels don't hold up very well, B, Pixels don't hold their value very well, and C, Pixels are expensive to buy for some reason. Even though most of the stuff is just done on the cloud or provided by other companies or Google themselves. The chip is designed by Google based off of their data center chipsets, but are produced by TSMC, which is fine. Apple does that, Samsung does that. Intel's probably going to do that when they eventually get bought out by the government or whatever happens to Intel. AMD does it, NVIDIA, everybody uses TSMC. But what does Google really do with the phones? Because Apple designs the software, their AI, which sucks, but is theirs. They organize sensors so that the, the pipeline looks good. The buttons offer quickie and not chintzy. Same with Samsung. But like you look at pixels and it's all like it still looks like a toy. It still feels like a toy. Not so much in build quality, but like you look at the colors are all kind of comical. Or like it's all done by other people. Like made by Google doesn't really mean anything. I'm probably wrong about that, but it feels like they made the Rabbit R1 or the Humane Pin of phones, and they, yep, this is our innovation for the year. We've done nothing else except for add Zoom and then added a very, very small world of scale model. And by that I mean like, so Topaz Labs has like an upscale ability. So like they have photo upscaling. That entire model is like 16 to 32 gigabytes depending on what you download and the exact upscale models you have. Pixels can't do that because no phone can do that because that's very demanding. But like, if you can't do it on device, and don't download like a gigabyte and make it look like a smeary painting that's slightly sharpened. Like, at least make it look decent. And then apply your weirdly contrasty saturated photo look to it. And then make sure all your videos look destroyed. Man, if this was any other phone manufacturer, everybody would be rioting in the streets. If Samsung did that, oh, if Samsung had, if Samsung releases the S26 Ultra at $1,200 or $1,300, downgrades the storage speed, downgrades the screen brightness, goes all in on AI, removes the optical zoom camera for the 100X, and just makes it an AI model, a general skill model, a general generative AI skill model, I should say, and then makes everything else kind of terrible, and then just says toss it to the cloud. It's free for 2-3 years. Everyone would riot. Same with OnePlus. And then over in China, there's like, yeah, we'll just make it a good device. I don't know why we have such a disconnect. It's crazy and dumb.